Hi, I'm Austin from Boss, and today we're talking delay and reverb pedals, but particularly we're working at the DD-7 digital delay. And a little bit about what delay is. Delay is when you play a note and the digital delay box will then repeat that note for how many ever times that you have control over. By dialing in the D time or the delay time, and the feedback will determine how many repeats you hear before the note dies, and the effect level will control how much of that delay effect you're actually hearing. There are a couple different modes on the DD-7 as well. There are ranges of milliseconds, so you can have from 50 milliseconds all the way to 3200 milliseconds of delay time, as well as a hold function, which acts as a looper, and a modulation delay, which will add chorus to the signal, an analog delay model, which will simulate that analog warmth and degradation feel on the trail, as well as a reverse delay to give you some of those old school 60s tones. So here's a little bit of sound from the 800 millisecond delay setting. I've got pretty much all the knobs set right down the middle, and I'm using a volume pedal in the very beginning of the chain to give us some volume swells. Later on, I'll add some distortion because delay will actually add a lot of nice space to lead tones. So here we go with that sound. Now let's add some distortion to hear what the delay will sound like when adding to a lead tone. For this section, I'm using a BD2 blues driver as my gain tone. So here we go. So for adding delay to distortion tones, add some really nice space and also add some nice air movement to your leads and can actually add movement to your lead tones. Another mode on the DD-7 is going to be the 200 and the 50 millisecond delay times. This will give you a shorter range of delay time to give you either a nice doubling effect or a slapback type of tone that you would find in rockabilly. So here we go with the 200 millisecond delay. This will give a quick slapback type of tone, so that way I can use this as a rockabilly type of feel. So here we go. So really cool way to use digital delay as a nice slapback type of tone in order to give us some nice rockabilly or some bluesy type tones. Now we move on to the 50 millisecond delay. This is a really shorter delay time which won't be noticeable on the repeats, but will add a doubling effect. So I'll first start off by playing clean guitar, and then I will add the 50 millisecond delay a little bit later to give you a little difference between the clean and the 50 millisecond doubling delay. So here we go with that sound. Okay, so here's clean natural guitar. Now here's the doubling effect. This doubling effect also works great when using leads to simulate the double miking system that most studio engineers will use to create that doubling effect. So here we go with adding some distortion. And now moving on to the hold function of the DD-7. This will act as a looper, so that way you can formulate ideas, spark creativity, or maybe even use it just to practice some of your lead tones. So here we go, moving into the hold function, and the multi-segment LED will display when record, playback, and overdub will be represented in colors. Red for record, green for playback, and orange for overdub. In this mode, the effect level will control how much of the looper level you're hearing. Press twice to stop the loop, and now you've created a loop. So now you can use this for practice, for sparking creative ideas, as well as enhancing some of your live performance. The next mode on the DD-7 will be the modulation delay. And this will add a chorus-like feel to your trail. And for this example, I'm going to give you a little bit more of the effect level and increase the feedbacks and delay time, so that way you can hear some of the modulation happening in the trail. So here's a little bit of that sound. So this is another really fun delay to add a little bit more texture to your trail tone. Another delay mode on the DD-7 is going to be the analog delay. And now the difference between analog delay and digital delay is that analog delay trails will be a little bit more distorted and will degrade as the repeats carry on. Digital delay will carry the repeats for the exact sound that they hear, so it produces a more clear and longer trail time. So in the analog mode, we're going to mess around with that. You can hear some of the distorted trail tones. So here we go with that sound. So you can hear in some of the trail runs how the trail will become a little bit distorted as the signal carries on, which is going to be the main difference between digital and analog delay. And then the last delay mode on the DD-7 will be the reverse delay. And the reverse delay is literally taking your trail and reversing the signal in the exact opposite way. For this demo, I like to use the effect level cranked all the way up, so all you hear is the reverse guitar, kind of doing a reverse tracking effect, like you would hear in some classic Jimi Hendrix songs. So here we go with that tone. For the ending of that example, I was using the new Boss EV30 dual expression pedal to run a TRS cable into the DD-7 to control the effect level. So what you're hearing is me bringing back my dry guitar signal as I release my foot off of the EV30. Another additional add-on to the DD-7 in order to make it more performance friendly is the use of a tap tempo function, which is something that a lot of us live guitar players would like to have when using delay. One pedal that you can use is the Boss FS7 switch. Plug in a 1/4 inch cable from any of the outputs on the back and plug into the DD-7, and now you can pump the tempo of your delay. This tap tempo function can also be found on board the DD-7. And this can simply be done by pressing and holding down on the pedal's face until you see the green LED come on and you can pump in your tempo. So for this, I'm going to switch back to a digital delay so you can hear and notice the differences in the tempo. To switch out of this mode, I press and hold on the pedal's face until I see the red LED come on. And now I'm back into normal DD-7 mode, non-tap tempo. The DD-7 is also a stereo pedal in which you can plug 2 amps into this pedal and spread out the stereo field of the delay sound. And that is the DD-7 digital delay from Boss. I am Austin from Boss, talking digital delay and reverb. Thanks a lot for watching.